يا قدس يا شدوى البلابل في فمي.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Right now we've come to the city of Shimweel, Shimweel, which means that this is the area which Sayyidina Shimweel Alayhis-Salam was resided, and his tomb is in this masjid. Now before I go on to mention that, I just want to show you a clip of the ruins and the reminiscences that are here. It's possibly that this may be the reminiscences of the Romans, so it predates back to the Roman period. It can also be before that. Okay, but we know for certain that this is definitely old. This reminiscences is not early. It predates more than 2,000 to 3,000 years, and this is probably one of the oldest cities in this entire area. And you can see, mashallah, you can have a beautiful panoramic view of Jerusalem and the cities here. So we're situated right to the top of a mountain, and it's one of the most famous and blessed mountains. I'm not sure what the name is, but it is considered to be one of the most blessed mountains around here, and you get a spectacular view of the entire city of Palestine. So you can see that there are villages there. So the villages are all spread out, which unfortunately much of it has now been occupied by the Zionist regime. So in any case, so this is the area of Sayyidina Shimweel Alayhis-Salam, and the reminiscences here, they predate to the Romans. Now just to mention that Shimweel Alayhis-Salam is the prophet that's mentioned in the Quran, where the Bani Israel requested Shimweel Alayhis-Salam to appoint a king for them, in order for them to do jihad against a nation by the name of Amalekah. So they were already residing in Palestine at the time. However, due to the corruption, they were now being ruled by a foreign nation, the Amalekah. So they requested to do jihad and to be appointed as a king. So long story short, this king was Talut. This was the famous time. This is the time of Talut and the battle between Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam and Jalut and his army. So the prophet at that time, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a mention in the Quran, وَقَالَ لَهُمْ نَبِيُّهُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ بَعَثَ لَكُمْ طَالُوتَ مَلِكًا. When the Nabi said to them that Allah Ta'ala has appointed King Talut over you, that entire story, okay, that Nabi is referring to Sayyidina Shimweel alayhi salatu wasalam. So he's another prophet that's mentioned indirectly in the Quran, and this is his place of residence. Now this is the masjid, right, of Shimweel alayhi salam. It's believed that the tomb is in the masjid area. Below the masjid is the synagogue. That part of the masjid will be converted to a synagogue. However, the upper part has still remained a masjid, and the tomb of Shimweel alayhi salam is in the Muslim quarters. Okay, this is the blessed tomb of Sayyidina Shimweel alayhi salatu wasalam, which I was telling you about. Now I just wanted to mention, actually, I didn't mention this in the previous clips, but I thought I'll mention that whenever we see a tomb of a Nabi or any person, it doesn't actually mean that they're inside the tomb because it's just an empty box, but rather it's to symbolize that this is where they're buried, but the grave is actually deep down below. The grave is actually deep down below underground. So this is the Hada Darih. Darih means the tomb or the grave of Nabi Shimweel alayhi salatu wasalam. Okay, so it's not actually means that he's actually buried in this box, but rather he's underground, and this same goes for all of the prophets. So for example, when we saw the tomb of Yunus alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam, Salman Fasi radiyallahu anhu and others, so they're not actually, and likewise with Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Masjid al-Nabawi, that he's not actually buried inside not in the box, but rather underground. But this is to symbolize that this is the place of burial. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.